If you go onto the Twitter universe, you'll see a phrase HODL, which means hold on for dear life.
Every day I'm hodling. 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 Every day I'm hodling.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Give a quick shout out to Marco Lehman. Created that beat for me, randomly sent it to me last night. He actually has a website. I'll put his in the description. Very talented. He's actually, Marco's the man that made my intro music, the original one. He just randomly sent it to me one day because I didn't have, that's a cool thing. I'll get into that tomorrow, but about following your passion and what you're doing, people will help fill in the gaps, but I'll talk about that tomorrow. Another quick shout out to Christopher Giancarlo. Hopefully I didn't butcher it. Actually practiced because I have respect for what he was talking about in the hearing yesterday when they were talking about SEC, talking about crypto. He told everyone the definition of hodl. So in the spirit of hodling, I decided to, for the first time ever, make my first top 5 hodl coins. Hodl crypto. What are you going to have to pry out of my cold dead hands? Now, a lot of these are going to be pretty obvious because these are my core positions. These are the absolute bedrock of my crypto portfolio. And so it's not going to be surprised. What there might be a surprise in is the order. The order in which my core blocks are placed. Now, I wasn't loyal to the positions. I actually had to fight. I don't really prepare too much for my videos. They're a lot of freestyle. I research so much that I'm already prepared. I don't really have to research the tech and all this stuff. I already know a lot about it. Although I'm not going to get into the tech too much in these videos because the coins are going to be pretty obvious. A lot of you are already going to know Holler at Ivan because I'm pretty sure he covers all of them. And yeah, you can get all that. But I'm basically going to get into, for reasons that I get into them and why I hodl, that might bring a different perspective, one that you might not have seen for a coin that seems so obvious. And yeah, so let's go ahead and jump into it. Now, like I said, I wasn't loyal to the order. It was very hard. I was switching them back and forth. It was making me uncomfortable trying to put where they would be. But if I had to be just very honest, if it came down to it and the money was falling into the slots and I had to choose where it was going, this is what I came up with. And they're all on the front page. And because number 1 and number 5 are surprises, I think that a lot of people might be a little surprised by my picks for the number 1 and number 5. We're actually going to start off in the middle. We'll start off on my third pick, my third hodl. And it's on the front page. Where's it going to be? Let's do like a spinning wheel. Bitcoin. Now, a lot of people were probably expecting this to be my number 1. And at one time, it might have been, and it probably was. The only issue I have, and I really don't have an issue. Like I said, it was very hard to place these. And Bitcoin being the biggest, strongest blockchain. I also lump in Bitcoin Cash here. So it's Bitcoin, any fork. So if you have Bitcoin, I'm considering any fork that's a part of Bitcoin, right? So Bitcoin Cash, even Bitcoin Private coming out whenever it comes out, Bitcoin Gold, whatever, right? So that's another power of hodling Bitcoin. You get these forks, so we can't discount that. And between Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash, I think that they're going to be able to get their roots in and become sustainable long term. Because third place is no small pickle. That's a lot of, it's a very, very high place for me. And it hurts for me to put it in third, but I have to be realistic The reason I really, really like Bitcoin is because of the first mover advantage, the strongest blockchain in the world, arguably the best devs of any team. Say arguably. We'll get into the others. I think that it's just such a big movement. It's such a powerhouse. You have Lightning Network, which I believe is being swept under the rug. I think people are underestimating it for the fact that SegWit took forever. People are like, man, look at how long SegWit took. You know, Lightning Network is probably going to take as long. And there's a lot of FUD, I hate saying the word FUD now. There's a lot of attention being brought to how Lightning Network could become centralized because of the hubs. But I also think that there's not enough videos out there about how it could be decentralized. Theoretically, these big old hubs, which hold a lot of money, are going to appear. However, there's not going to be any jurisdiction. Right? Anyone can be that. It could be a bunch of rich poker players. It could be a bunch of people who come together. I think those pools can be more decentralized than people think, and I think there could be more Lightning hubs because the money. It does take away power from mining. Mining does secure the network. However, I still believe mining is going to be very profitable still, obviously, and maybe they even open up their own Lightning hubs with how much, instead of dumping it, you can hold it into these Lightning hubs and earn even more money. Who knows, right? I think it's a radical piece of technology. They're making it where verify, verify. That's just what they want. A lot of people want to have the block size small so anyone can download the blockchain without it being, 86 terabytes a year or something crazy. And Bitcoin Cash is doing the opposite. But hey, right, if you held both at the time, you got both. And, the same with Bitcoin Private. People are saying, hey, Bitcoin needs a privacy coin. So there's going to be these forks that emerge. And to wake up 20 years from now, it's really hard to say which Bitcoin is actually going to be the number one. It's easy to say, yeah, this one, obviously, you idiot. It's easy to say that. But I don't know. I never lived my life that way. I think that, I play poker for a living. So I understand what a one-outer on the river looks like when it happens 3 times in a row. And it's like, oh, man, it's a statistical improbability. But anything can happen. So that's my number 3 pick. I don't want to take too much time. I want to bounce around. Going back. Now I'm going to do... What am I going to do now? I guess we can talk about my number 2 pick. My number 2 pick. Okay. Where is it going to be? I don't want to do the wheel thing again. That was weird. I'm going to jump right into it. Number 2. Boom. Ethereum. Why did I choose Ethereum over Bitcoin? Why did I choose Ethereum over Bitcoin? At the end of the day, there's way more use cases for Ethereum than there are Bitcoin. And I know Bitcoin can say they're going to unlock the opcodes and all that, but one of the things that made Bitcoin so secure is the fact that it's minimal. Bitcoin is minimal, and that's what made it secure. So I'm not so sure that enabling the opcodes is the greatest idea. Hey, I could be totally wrong. You also have Bitcoin Cash. They're doing it. They're going to make something called color coins. Now, for Bitcoin itself to actually do it, I think that's one edge that it has that it might just want to keep. It's like, hey, man, I'm a one-trick pony. But my trick is fucking awesome, and you need it. It's the trick of all tricks, right? The monetary system to be able to be a store of value, one day become a currency again. It's still a currency. I really don't care what people say. When you talk about Bitcoin, it's just expensive and not very useful for everyday things. It has its uses though, and as it becomes cheaper and better, it'll become a better currency. Moving on to Ethereum. The reason I like Ethereum over Bitcoin, like I said, because the use cases. Because I believe in the team, Vitalik. It has so many connections. The guy is talking to governments. It's here. It's funny. When Vitalik, people are talking about what's going to be the Ethereum of China and the Ethereum of whatever, right? The different, the Korean Ethereum. He said, the Ethereum of China is Ethereum. The Ethereum of Korea is Ethereum. The guy is thug life. The guy is gangster. The guy is a fight. I really believe in them. And you just got to have a little bit of foresight. The reason this price doesn't have another number right here is because, it's still up in question. And a lot of people want to invest. A lot of people want to invest in a lot of ICOs. But however, with these ICOs, you have a two-pronged approach. You have something that you have to win twice. Ethereum, first of all, has to work. Doesn't necessarily have to work, but one of these blockchains has to work. And Ethereum's the most proven. It's been out. It's been attacked. Yeah, it's taken a lot of blows, but they're fixing them left and right. There is a lot of money being built on top of Ethereum. And all of that money is relying on Ethereum right now to work. I was researching some old coins, looking at interviews, and a lot of them are saying, well, hell, we just believe in Ethereum. So yeah, there's a lot of ICOs coming out, but keep in mind what platform they're coming out on. And if you're talking about a core position, I'm not talking about, hey, what's the most likely to go 100x. I'm not talking, this isn't that video. This is core. This is defense. This is snow stealer defense. This is hard nose. Don't give up an inch. This is what I feel. These are the coins, like the hedge, the store value, where you store. And at the end of the day, Ethereum has so much money being built on top of it with all of these ICOs. I think that's going to carry it to victory. And it was close. It hurt so bad. It was Bitcoin and Ethereum were fighting all night. But at the end of the day, if I have to be truly honest with myself, Ethereum edges it out just because of the ICOs, the money. It's just, I don't know, it's grown its own legs. It's very, 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 very hard for it to lose at this point. You have sharding, you have Ice Age, you have so many, and I like all the names. I think the names are really cool, but you have all these scaling developments. What are they going to do? How are they going to do it? They have a bunch of interest. If very interesting, go to listen on the Ivan on Tech, the Ice Age video. It's very interesting what they're doing and how they're approaching it. Another thing is Vitalik is very, 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 very smart. And he has a lot of money and a lot of backing. One of the things he said that's very interesting, and another thug life. Somebody was talking about, higher, more powerful blockchain, and why hasn't it? And he was saying, okay, so these guys are saying that they're gonna, these people are saying they're gonna make a more powerful blockchain than Ethereum. And it's like, well, then how come Ethereum isn't more powerful? And that's like mic drop, because he has such confidence in his abilities. He's like, well, if it can be better, how come it's not better? I'm Vitalik. What? And that was, I really like that kind of mentality. The mentality can get you really far in life, especially if you had the fighting. And it's kind of true. It's like, hey man, why, is Vitalik missing? Is he dropping the ball, or is he thinking long term? Does he have a different way? He's trying to make it. He has a bunch of interesting counter arguments for every single thing. I don't want to attack other blockchains from Vitalik's point of view, right? That's not the point of this video. But he answers the tough questions in a satisfactory manner. So, I mean, second place. These coins were going everywhere. First, second, fifth, third, all of them, I think, were at 1 point in every position. Okay, so now we're going to go to the fourth one. And we'll jump right into it. And it's going to be Neo, actually. Now, Neo was very interesting with how powerful it got, how quickly. I think it's a sleeping giant. This one was tough, man. Fourth is very respectable. I am very bullish on Neo. I think Neo is very, very, very good project. They have so many connections. If you really realize what's going on, if you look around at how many companies Neo's investing in, these guys have a lot of money. These people have a lot of money. Neo has a lot of money, a lot of connections. And I have a tinfoil hat theory. I'm thinking, what if the Chinese government comes through and says, all right, you can have ICOs, but you have to run them through Neo. I mean, Neo is going to be centralized. It's going to be like the government blockchain. And that is what it is. We had to expect that, something like that to happen, especially in somewhere like China, where they really like to control. Korea, you can't get money out of Korea. It's almost impossible. It's very, very hard. And that's how a lot of those countries are. With Neo, I believe it's in a power position because it has, like I said, just has so many connections. And the fact that they're boasting, they say by 2020, they'll be able to do 10,000 transactions a second, which is a good start. I mean, it's almost Visa level. But if my tinfoil hat theory comes true, and I know some people that know a lot more than me, They have connections there. They understand. I'm not saying any of this is fucking real. This is tinfoil hat theory. But from what they're telling me, I'm connecting dots, and I'm thinking, well, you know, NEO is they're doing everything compliant to the Chinese law to a T. They're doing every single thing. That's why the price hasn't, if you notice, the price has been pretty fucking strong for NEO. It's still up a lot. It was like $25 not too long ago. And it doesn't drop too hard, if you noticed. And the same thing, like this is people are buying this up. And when people are buying this up during dips, during crashes, right? NEO didn't really crash too hard. I mean, kind of, so especially not in BTC value, maybe in USD a little bit. So there's a tinfoil hat theory here with NEO. The all-star team, you see them everywhere. It's very, very hard for me to think that NEO isn't going to be a huge blockchain in China. Just very hard for me. I don't have any proof. Just a gut feeling. Sometimes you just have to go with your gut, and my gut's always served me right. I don't know. I've done so much research. I've watched so many videos on 2x speed. I've read so many articles that I get this innate gut feeling based on everything I've absorbed, and the fact that I've seen NEO everywhere. I've seen NEO. NEO is literally everywhere. So many new Chinese ICOs you'll see that are partnered some way. There'll be a company that NEO's basically owns, and you'll see that company invested in a company. It's like middleman. Once I started seeing that companies that NEO had in their hand, those were the guys that were investing in other companies. It's like a middleman effect. And I'm thinking, okay, I've seen this before. The fact that the price is holding up. So NEO's a fourth core position. Plus, I missed on gas. Obviously, very, very awesome. The fact that the amount of gas you get, how limited gas is, I love it. I love the passive income. All right. So we're going to do the fifth one, right? We're going to do the fifth one. All right. Where is it going to be? The fifth one's on this page. I know people are probably going to be like, what the fuck? All right, where are you? People probably already know. I love fucking basic attention token. I don't care what anyone says. I've loved it from the moment I knew what it was. The moment I missed out on the ICO because the Chinese whales got in it. I really don't care. If we're talking about, I'm a sucker for projects that are just steak and potatoes, man. They give you a badass browser. You don't understand how unprotected you are on the internet. I believe that this is going to be the standard browser. There's no one that's on this level. I mean, these guys raised $30 million. The guy from Mozilla, JavaScript. This guy has connections. He knows what he's doing. Speaking at Facebook, speaking at all these big conferences. I think everything's going to run through Mozilla. And the moment you start getting key players of Facebook or one of these big sites to actually integrate their ads and go through this, because this is what they're doing. They're trying to create a funnel. Right now, they're a small funnel about this, and they're sucking in things, right? And people are coming into it. But once it starts to grow and people start to jump in, they're literally going to revolutionize how all of ads are seen and viewed and how content creators get paid. And it's going to be that double whammy for, I believe it. I can see it in the future. All sites are going to have, you're going to be able to pay them with your basic attention token. Even if you're on Steam, you can give them an upvote and throw them some BAT. That's how I view it. I think BAT's going to be the backbone of the browser internet experience for a very long time. There's a lot of money in that. A lot of money in that. If they can pull it off, people don't understand how ambitious the project really is. But if they can pull off what they want to pull off, this is a top 5 coin. And it's really hard to say. It takes a lot of vision, especially from where it's at. But if they pull it off, and I'm crazy enough to think that they can. I really am crazy enough to think that they can. I feel more comfortable in BAT. BAT was swinging around, man. BAT wasn't just 5th either. I'm going to tell you that much. BAT wasn't just 5th. It swung around. It hurt to put BAT 5th place. I absolutely love BAT. On all the big exchanges, it needs to be just a sleeper. Just a sleeper. And it's a slow one, man. It's a tortoise. This one's not going to give you those overnight crazy gains. I mean, of course it could if it just overnight picked up Facebook or something. But for the most part, it's going to be a steady gainer. I just think it's going to always be more expensive every dip. and it's going to maintain BTC value pretty well. And it's just going to hang in there. It's going to scrap. It's going to give you the gains. It's just a comfortable place to put the money. I feel very comfortable with Basic Attention Token. Obviously, I'm diversified to hell. These are my top 5 holdings, but I have other coins as well. Number one, the number one coin, guys. My old viewers probably know what it is. They probably know what it is. I wouldn't doubt. This was a live stream. There'd be spoiler alerts left and right. People know what my fucking number one pick is. And I have to explain myself because they're going to be like, but Dan, they don't even have a working product. And to them I say, technically, you're right. However, we do have BitShares and we do have Steemit. Two things Dan has made. Dan Larimer has made both of those. They're still here today. And guess what? They work better than any blockchain out right now. Boom. I fucking said it. BitShares is processing more transactions than Ethereum and Bitcoin put together. So is Steemit. Steemit is absolutely destroying the game. Every upvote's a transaction. He's proven that he can make high performance blockchains. Blockchains that are better than Ethereum in its current state. The performance is better than Ethereum. Best blockchains on the market. He has made that work right now. And he made them before anybody else. BitShares is old school. And nobody fucking had a blockchain like that. He came out of left field. He just didn't have the advertising. I know how that feels. I created a project called PokerLancer. And what it was a reverse auction bidding process for poker coaching and other coaching. I actually had a patent pending on it. I ran out of money for marketing. Marketing's a bitch. And he didn't have the marketing for BitShares. That's why a lot of people don't understand it. Steemit, he didn't have the marketing for it, but he was so smart. He was like, well, guess what? I'm not going to fail again with no marketing. I'm going to come in and I'm going to make it where it markets itself. Boom. It's a top, 1,300 website moving. This website, Steemit's going to fucking keep going forward. One of the things that does suck, I know this is a little off topic, but I hate what happened with him and Steemit because Ned Scott, I was thinking of Iron Man. He downvoted one of Dan L's posts. He was talking about EOS and he downvoted for aggrandizement. I can't fucking say, basically talking up on yourself, right? Saying, yeah, he said he was bragging too much, basically. And that hurt my soul. I was like, man, why are you doing that, man? Don't, it's like you just gotta. Business is business. You can't let your emotions get on you. So I actually haven't transferred my Steem. I'm holding my Steem. I'm not sure if I'm going to power up anymore on my Steemit. I have to do some soul searching. I know, like I said, I could not picture why I didn't like Steemit, but I have a gut feeling, and I still am not there yet. I'm not saying I hate it at all. I'm invested in it, but moving on with EOS. They have so much. He has solved everything. Because Dan L, man, I love the guy. He's not the greatest speaker in the world. He has somebody for that though. Brock Pierce now. Brock Pierce is an excellent speaker. Love that guy. I mean, I don't say I love him. I'm not hating on the guy either. I mean, he's a part of EOS, so it's like a biased love. But I like his style. I like the way he speaks. I like his visions. Right. Can't just go around throwing the love word though. I can get a little lovey-dovey when it comes to EOS. So I just believe in it so hard. So he has past working products. That means we know he can build what he's building. He's going to have billions of dollars. Man, he has people dropping $350 million. Boom. Another one was dropping hundreds of millions of dollars. Boom. That's going to keep continuing. The team is going to have so much money, they're not going to know what to do with it. And when you get to a problem where you have so much money, you don't know what to do with it, the team actually found a way to beat that. They're like, well, we're just going to invest in projects that come onto the EOS platform. And the reason I have really high hopes for BitShares is because I, deep down, tin hat foil theory, I think Dan's going to fund it. I think BitShares is going to come onto the EOS platform and Dan's going to kick him some funding money. And that's all BitShares needs, a little paint job, a little touch up, and wow, you have one of the most powerful decentralized, you have the most powerful decentralized exchange ever built right there, ready to go during all this crazy time, right? So it's kind of like gasoline is on the ground and it just takes one little spark, and the trail is just leading to the barn, and it's just boom, right? Things are really ready to blow when it comes. If EOS, the big if though, it's my number one, and it defies all logic. But sometimes in life, you can't look at what humans call logic. Sometimes you can't say, well, this is logical because everyone says it's logical. Sometimes you have to take what everyone says, but you have to be unbiased from yourself. You have to be yourself. You have to listen to it from yourself. You can't be easily swayed. You have to do enough research to where you form a belief. First, you got to form a belief. That's the first thing. You have to go out and do enough research to actually form a belief. Once you have that, then it has to be changed. And unless it's changed, right, people can say pretty words, people can inspire you, they can get your heart racing, but until they actually beat out your research and improve your philosophy or your vision on what you're doing in life, it's not set in stone. That's where people make mistakes, because they think that they want to make the logical move, so they play it safe, and they don't go with what they truly believe in. Truly believe in. I'm not saying EOS is the best project. I know a lot of people probably going to smock at this. That's fine, right? I've done enough research I hate using the word research too. I've watched enough content. I've absorbed enough information on it that I feel the most comfortable of all. And this was a fight. You know, EOS was in number one the whole time. I had to move him around, but it ended up there. And it was gravitating towards it, right? There was a biased gravitation. So I believe EOS has got one of the best shots of any blockchain, even though it's not even out from the mirror. One of the big things, though, that I am worried about is how the regulation is going to affect their ICO. They've worded it to where they're like, hey, man, we're just giving these tokens. You know, you don't get anything from this. Like, they worded it to where as best they could. They have the best lawyers. They don't have the USA or Hong Kong or any of these other countries involved. So I don't know. China, obviously, they don't have involved. So I think they're going to be fine. That's one of the little things that's not murky clear. But at the end of the day, a lot of these projects aren't built yet. These guys already have the money. They're already developing it. It's, you know, once it's developed, it's done, right? So they don't even. So even if something did happen with the remaining of the ICO, it doesn't matter. The platform's being built. They're ahead of schedule on everything. That's what I like about them. They're hungry. They have enough money to hire anybody they could possibly need. So EOS is my number one store of value. And yeah, I guess that's it, right? Top 5. Go over it one more time. Bitcoin. Number 1 was EOS. Number 2 was Ethereum. Number 3 was Bitcoin. Number 4 was NEO. Number 5 was Basic Attention Token. Those are my top 5 hodls. I might be doing another top 5, like a small cap or small circulating supply coins. I don't know. I might do more of these top 5s, you know, every once in a while. People seem to enjoy them. Yeah, that is it. Oh, enjoying a nice market bounce, right, guys? The news yesterday was receptive. Just, you know, very nice. And a lot of people may not agree with the hodl, but that's fine. It's my strategy. God bless you. I have a hybrid strategy, obviously. I trade, but I also hodl. I have core positions that I just forget about. You know, might not work best for everybody. Keep in mind, this is not financial advice. This is purely my journey. This is what I'm doing. Good luck out there. Best to you. Cheers. Peace.